Good morning and welcome. This is the Drive Time Bible Study here on Waves 96.3 FM. I am Rohan. Joining me shortly here will be Giovanni. We're here on Wednesday morning on Waves 96.3 FM for this Drive Time Bible Study where we look at events that are happening in our world today, you know, and how these affect our lives and how do we navigate as we prepare and stay ready for Christ's second return. We have an interesting program lined up for you this morning, and we hope that you will, take the journey with us as we look at the Word of God and the events of today. There are so many events happening that are affecting our lives, and as time progresses, will get even worse and worse. You know, uh, Welcome to all who are joining us. Welcome, Turn Hilton. It's good to have you on. Haven't experienced your tuning in or comments for some time. No, it's good to have you. And then many others who are listening and watching on our YouTube platform. God is good. We're alive to experience today. Let us give Him thanks. We're going to go into the program. Let us pray as we begin. Heavenly Father, God of grace and truth, one who knows all and sees all. Thank you, Lord, for being the God that you are. Thank you for loving us with a love that is unmatched, an everlasting, conditional, unconditional love. Thank you, Lord, for giving us life to experience another day. May you take us through this program, be our insight, be our inspiration, be our moderator. And may not only us be edified from this program, but also those who are listening and viewing. Take us through as we look to you in Jesus' name. All right. I hear you. I hear you, Turan. It's always good to have you. Always good to have you on. This program is somewhat different from what we're used to. There are breaks, because we are on radio. So we may have 15-minute breaks, throughout the program. And it's always important to note that the information that we share here is not necessarily the views of this station, Waves 96.3 FM. Uh, so here we go.
Opinions expressed on this program are those of the bloggers or callers and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Waves 96.3 FM. Any content provided by our bloggers or callers are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic, club, organization, company, or individual.
Okay, so here we go. Uh, yes. It is evident, and the chair is also there, someone was commenting that, it's just one bottle standing on the wall. Welcome out to rehab. Um, that one bottle will be accompanied very soon by another bottle, which will be completeness. You imagine two is completion. We can look at today as we look at the agenda of the world, promoting Planned Parenthood, where we have they suggest that two is better than too many. So we need to reduce the number of have to two, and we see two or less, and we see where that is posing serious problems throughout the world. Well, that's what they say. in an age where they would love for the total population of Earth to be 500 million or less. They are encouraging us to have children because there's a backlash. You see where it is causing serious issues. You cannot go against, God's design, God's will, and experience, normalcy or peace and happiness as you would want. So no persons are having less children, and we see where the governments are crying out that it is causing a problem. Not only is it affecting the workforce, um, but it affects so many other things. You know, Nobody going to school, not having number of students um, populating the schools is posing a problem in so many ways. You know, you're gonna lose out in many ways where it comes down to education and having professionals to uh, you call it run the country in many aspects. The workforce is necessary for you to accomplish so much, the economy and all of that. So yeah, he just sparked that conversation. But we're gonna touch it, well, if we have time, throughout this program because we're seeing according to what we're looking at this morning, the end of time events, and there are so many end of time events. Our failure to plan, you know, we're planning to fail. It says end time events, fail to plan to fail, and the need for us to wake up because desolation is on the horizon. And it's not only on the horizon, when you see rainfall happening, on the horizon and it approaches land. Not at all times do we find it reaching land, but it has its intended purpose. It's going somewhere, or maybe its sole purpose is to, increase the water supply in the sea. But then we are seeing where the desolation is actually at our doorsteps. We are actually feeling the effects of it, and as time progresses, it will get stronger. Um, what we are used to in Jamaica, we experience um, some negative events, for example, a hurricane, and then we build back in no time. We're back to normalcy. We experience other such events. Um, COVID-19 was one of them. And before you know it, Jamaica was back on its feet. Not not to normalcy. They tell you it's a new normal, but there was recovery to an extent. So we are used to that. Once you're going through difficult time, worry not, fret not, because you'll be back to normal. Um, I'm here to inform you that whatever we're experiencing and will be experiencing as a result of this El Nino, do not look forward to getting back to normal. Um, look forward to a new normal that is not one that is favorable for anyone. You know, it's not something that will be welcome at all. Welcome Adebolo. Welcome Giovanni.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm not welcoming you because you commented. I'm
Okay.
welcoming because you entered the studio. But it's good to have you.
Yes, man.
Glad to
So
be here.
good. So good. So good.
This is with 96.3 FM, and we're on the Drive Time Bible Study, if you didn't remember. But we're here.
Yes.
Good to have you here.
Amen.
We're looking at, as the topic says, end time events.
Yes.
We're looking at the water issue that we're experiencing throughout the world. But Jamaica is also a member of a set of world.
Yes, man.
So we're looking at specifically at Jamaica, but we can glimpse also on some things that are happening elsewhere. You know, First Kings has First Kings 18, chapter 18, as a little event that took place. And it's good that we believe that the events that
Mount
are
Carmel.
recorded in Bible are real, from Genesis right down to Revelation. The
Yes.
events are real, and if you don't believe, just brace yourself. All right. So this says it speaks to a famine situation.
Yes.
It says, and it came to pass after many days that the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the third year, saying, Go show thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. Now, because of the sin problem in Israel, um, they
No,
were
rain.
experiencing
Drought.
drought.
Was that a similar event for Egypt? Vicky?
Egypt,
Yeah, man.
it's
At the time
normally
of
as a result
Joseph.
of rebellion against God.
Yeah, man,
It's
right.
normally but that
Because
was worldwide.
yeah, man, that was worldwide,
That one
but
was
it
worldwide.
was mainly for Egypt.
Yeah,
As in Egypt
yeah.
was to be doing the storing up and so forth. So the
Hmm.
fact that well, the Bible said that there was in the land of Egypt, and
Yes.
they will worry about, Egypt was sore with the famine.
Hmm.
Even though it was worldwide, Egypt was sore, very sore with the famines, because Egypt seemed to be a place where a lot of commerce and trade and so forth is done.
Yeah, but
So a lot of
I
people
think
depend
they
upon
were
Egypt.
the ruling world power. I
Yeah,
think.
man, they were,
Yes.
they were.
Yes.
So it was very dire in Egypt situation there with the famine.
Hmm.
So I'm saying it's a similar case now as I mentioned with Mount Carmel and Ahab,
Yeah.
because of the sin problem, because the Egyptians didn't believe in God, didn't believe in God,
The creator God.
the
Yes.
Creator God. Yes.
Yes.
So
All right. So because of the sin problem that happened, and Elijah, the Lord sent Elijah to the kingdom and tell Ahab and Jezebel and the rest of them that listen, for the next 3.5 years there will be no
yes,
rain.
yeah, man.
Okay, behave right. There will be no rain. We'll be experiencing famine, and they did experience famine. Now, even though they hated Elijah, they wanted rain again. And why? God's man gave the
Mhm.
information. So it is good to seek him out so we can be back to normal.
Yes.
You know?
But I remember,
Yes.
before we go forward, Becky, it's something that I mentioned. Remember I mentioned it last week
Mhm.
on the same program, that it is always when we're at our wits' end,
Yeah.
individuals that they seek to turn to God or anything at all. Like even the phrase, the colloquial term that says, "Can't never know use until fly take it,
Yes.
until they drop off." So it comes a point where even though with the shortages and so forth, many persons will not realize the use or the need for water until they lose it.
Yeah.
People say they need food and they never realize the use of food until them lose it. They never realize the use of God until them lose it. So when God is calling now, Proverbs 1:23, God says, turn ye at my reproof, turn over to me and so
Yeah.
forth. And he said, because you will not, I will laugh when your calamity commit and mock at you when your fear commit. So it shall be in this time when we're calling you back to repentance,
Yeah.
people, and you choose not to take heed because other things are occupying your time. Simply means that when the fear commit now, when the calamity commit now, we see the calamity is upon us.
Mhm.
But this is just the mock test. The real test not reach it. This is the mock trial, people.
Yeah.
When that real test come, if you still reject, then you reject forever, because there will be no coming back for you at that time. Your probation done, nil, gone there. So that's why the Bible says, now is the day of salvation.
Hmm.
Make proper use of it today while I still have it.
All right. So we got a little further.
Yes.
So, an Elijah of chapter 15 of First Kings.
15 and
Yeah.
18.
18, sorry.
Okay.
Yes. And Elijah went to show himself unto Ahab, and there was a sore famine in Samaria. So as a result of lack of water, lack of
Yes.
food, famine. And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Now, Obadiah feared the Lord greatly. For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. And Ahab said unto Obadiah, Go into the land unto all the fountains of water and unto
Yes.
the brooks, peradventure we may find grass to save the horses and mules alive, that we lose not all the beasts. Yes.
Yes. Right as we're about to go for a short break, I'd like to add quickly, Becky, that realize not whatever situation may be and how there it may be God always fights for his people. And I think it's Psalm 17:34 is that the people of the Lord cry and the Lord hear them and
Yeah.
they deliver them out of their troubles. But we're going for a short break quickly. We're at 7:17 on Wave 96.3 FM. Yes, and here back. So it's Psalms 34:17. The righteous cry and the Lord hear it and deliver them out of their troubles. But it is not so with the wicked. That's what we want to establish here. It is not so with the wicked. The wicked will prosper for a time, as
Yeah.
David had the same problem. Becky, I was saying, man cried out unto Lord and said, how is it that my enemies are prospering and paraphrasing me there so on. Nothing now go on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or God had to reassure him that he make the rain fall upon just and they are just. That prospering for the wicked is just for a time. So they can live out them wicked ways. So when judgment is now meted upon them, Becky,
Yeah.
there's no excuse to say that God was unjust in his justice or his judgment that is proclaimed upon them. So all those who are listening, viewers, if you believe you can do wickedly and think you can easily come back and ask for forgiveness every time, it doesn't work like that. You believe you can live wickedly all your life and that is it. As a man would say to me that this is war without end. Just continue to
Okay.
live. Yeah, war
Okay.
without end. It is coming to an end that we're right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
What interests me, Becky, interests me is that as you mentioned with Second Kings 18 about the famine that was store famine that was in the land there with Ahab, is the fact that in this time, this dispensation, we've lost it as a people. Because it's yesterday I was just thinking, meditating upon it and saying, back in the days, people people would come out and be agitated about what is happening around
Yeah.
them. People would look and you'd hear it more, right? Man, your neighbor, you walk going on this way, I don't hear nothing like that. Like nobody no business. We have been so what's the word now? The prophet says that anybody Satan can get to neglect prayer and study of the scriptures, he knows is well overcome by his attack. So he employs every possible device to engross the mind.
Yeah.
And that is what
Yeah.
we're seeing now. See the AI, something I just that people are concentrated and so it's a big distraction. It's happening around them now. People have a clue. Right? Yesterday someone tell me that it is all over the media, so water shortage and whatever. They never know.
Mm.
You know, know. And it is all over. You can see the judge. How you know? Serious times we're living in, people. Serious time.
So even though the what is taking up their time and their mind,
Yes.
which is social media, even
Yeah.
though it also has the same device
Yes.
that gives you social media, has all of the
The information on it.
current
That
stuff,
is it.
you are still not focused
But
on
that's
that.
the deception.
Yeah, you're either
Deception.
enjoying yourself or you're
Yes.
making money,
That
through
is it.
that medium.
Yes. True.
All right, we can pause at verse 5. Said unto Obadiah, go into the land, unto all fountains of water, and unto all brooks. Peradventure we may find grass to save the horses, and the mules alive, that we lose not all the beasts. So even though they were in a famine situation,
Yes.
the government at the time, and those running things, they still had a few sources remaining that they
Of
could
water.
tap into.
Uh-huh.
Peradventure, you can find little
For the horses. Yeah.
water reserve, to take care of
Thank God there were no data centers.
animals
in
and
that
all
time.
of that.
God, there would be none.
Well, I think they had something better than data center. When they sent out their when the decree came from Jezebel, so
Yes.
listen, you need to find this man and
They
get rid
find
of
it.
him. They couldn't find him. And it said that they sent out their operatives everywhere.
Yes.
everywhere and they couldn't find him, and he never gone very far. I want to tell you. But but they had that kind of whatever technologies they used. It was
Yes.
very effective. But God had preserved the life. God preserved the life of
Elijah.
Elijah.
Yes.
So try as you may, you just could not find him.
That is it.
All right. So we're looking at Jamaica and the situations that we're experiencing um, with with regards to water shortage.
Yes.
We are going to look at what's happening in the corporate area. And we know the corporate area is where,
Yeah, man.
that's
Where
a
we
hub
are.
where big things happen. You know?
Kingston, St. Andrew.
Yeah, the big place, big neck place. So we're looking at that for starters. Here we are.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. First up this evening, the water shortage crisis in sections of Kingston and St. Andrew, as well as parts of St. Catherine, is worsening. There's now a worry among residents that water restrictions will get even tighter in the coming days. Details in this report from Dwayne Anderson. Despite water restrictions intended to conserve, levels at the two main storage facilities in the corporate area continue to fall. The National Water Commission (NWC) in its latest update on August 7 said Mona Reservoir was at 55.8% capacity. That is 451.4 million gallons of water. This was a further decline from the reported 58.1% reported on August 3, 4 days ago. This means water levels fell by 5.7 million gallons over those 4 days. The Water Commission says a decline was also registered at Hermitage Dam, which is now at 42.8% of its holding capacity, or 168.4 million gallons of water. This means water levels at the dam went down by a further 2.8 million gallons. Active restrictions took effect on August 3 for sections of Kingston and St. Andrew, including Ligony, Mountain View, New Kingston, Crossroads, and Vineyard Town, to slow the declining levels. Sections of Kingston and St. Andrew, as well as St. Catherine, experienced heavy rainfall on Saturday, but not sufficient to begin refilling any of the major catchment or storage facilities. But even more rain right now would mean a short-term fix. As it relates to the long-term fixes, Water Minister Matthew Simuda says the $92 million Rio Cobre water treatment project should be ready by the middle of next year. This would supply 15 million gallons of water daily to sections of Kingston and St. Andrew, as well as parts of Portmore and Spanish Town. That's 3 million gallons of water more than what communities in those parts were short in the country's worst ever dry spell nearly 4 years ago.
Right. So
That is very significant, Becky.
yes.
I really hope we are being awakened, people in which we're living in. You know, the thing that struck to me, Becky, that you read, that you played, is the fact that they said the residents, they're worried. Tighter restrictions are about to come on. So you know the Bible saying Luke 21 and verse 26. Men's hearts feeling them for fear, Becky, and for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth.
Yeah.
For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. You know, I'm going to show you some interesting things in the Bible because men's heart are really feeling them for fear in the Becky. And some things that occur for real, you know, that unprecedented, you know, things that boy you've never imagined. Everything from fire to flood to earthquake to typhoon, thunderstorm. I mean, everything is just coming in one time. Everything just coming at one point. But other thing that interests me is the fact at the reservoirs. You realize how dramatically quick the water is receding. It's like England saying that you're using up water more than how we can replenish it.
Yeah.
So that is what we're experiencing now in Jamaica. People are using up the water quicker than how they can replenish it. So look at 1 or 2 day rain not gonna help nothing. Because when they fall 2 day and stop another week by week, more than what fall done long time.
Yeah.
Because people are using up more. But I don't see any coming back, you know, in terms of and I say a new normal. Man, this not the drought really I'm talking about now. That as in the events. They're just gonna continue. I'm seeing them continuing until Christ puts in his appearance. because more so now than ever, okay, I'm seeing where this will be used against the saints of God as a means of Sunday sacredness. Can't see it now, people, but it is
Okay.
in the pipeline. I mean, you might can't see it now, but I'm seeing that that is what is in the pipeline, Becky,
Okay.
because
Okay.
it is being stressed, as you might know, that
Mhm.
climate is a factor causing all this. So once you eliminate,
Climate change.
not only
Yeah.
climate change, human cause climate change. They must
Mhm.
stress that recently, like every news outlet has stressed that human induced climate
Climate change.
crisis. Climate crisis. Human induced. I want to get it on people. Human induced climate crisis. Now that human induced will be narrowed down to a specific set of humans.
Yeah.
You can continue. Okay.
All right. So from what we just played,
Yes.
one of the dams, one of the two dams that
Yes.
supply the corporate area.
More of them.
Yes. One is 50%,
Yes.
capacity,
One is
50%,
40.
and going down,
Yes.
within days, how much percentage of
Not to
50%.
cut you. Not to
Yeah.
cut you, Becky, again. But
Mhm.
I really want us to understand what supplies the carburetor here. That's where you go.
Yes.
One is at 50%.
Yeah.
Understand gallons
America
within.
can't operate out the corporate area.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
You lose 4 million gallons within 4 days. 4 days,
Mhm. Mhm.
Now this is predicted to last this El Nino until October. How much days is that?
Until October.
No, until next year. But they're saying
Okay.
the what you call it now, the
Well, the
upgrade.
peak.
The peaking. It
The
will be
peak.
peaking from
Peaking
now
in,
going
in,
into
in
October.
October,
So if this
November.
is not the peak
Mhm.
yet, because it's peaking still, and every peak, it's
Yeah.
still peaking. If this is the peaking of it, I know peak it.
Mhm.
I losing about 4 million gallons within 4 days. How
Yeah.
much days run out till October? Whole heap of days, don't it? Months that months that. What are we expecting? The reservoir I go below dry, zero, nil, nothing will be
Yeah.
there.
You
What will
you're
happen to
you're
the people?
thinking. It seems you're thinking.
What will happen to the people?
No, one is at 50%.
Yeah,
Halfway there. No.
already.
One at 50. The other is at 40,
40,
and diminishing.
yes,
And
quickly.
diminishing quickly too.
Yes,
And the reason for it diminishing is that there's no water
yes,
to restore whatever is being used up.
yes,
There's no restoration taking place because there's no rainfall.
yes,
Um, so, so they are having that experience. However, there is hope because they are doing something now to that water source at in St. Catherine.
yes.
What they call it? I don't remember what they call it. But they mentioned it in the
Yeah, man, they
news.
mentioned it.
So it's somewhere in the region of by Bagua Gorge,
Yes.
right? So they're doing something there. Now that water, what they hope from that water system
Mhm.
is to have enough to help to take care of the problem that is that the corporate area is experiencing.
Mhm.
All right, but they are telling us that that won't
Be online
be online
until mid next
until
year.
mid next year. Now I see where this is not just an afterthought.
Yes.
When you call it what kind of
Mhm.
measure you have? You have one before and you have one after.
Mhm.
Um, yes,
Oh,
but
we know
this
what you're
this is
talking.
something that they
Mhm.
prepared. That was well thought
Sort
out
of. Yeah, man.
and was not an afterthought.
Yes.
It was planned that kind
Yes.
of way.
Yes.
Now what I'm looking at, they are experiencing in the corporate area currently. The help will come mid next year. It's going to come at a time when people are holler and a ball and
Yes,
a
man.
holler out for the solution.
Yes, man.
It's coming at a time when people need it more than any
Yes.
other time
Yes.
and will do anything at all
I'm telling you, that's why the Bible
to
can't
get
wrong
the
in a
help.
Becky. You know,
Yes,
Genesis 45 and 47. Go back and read it, people.
yes.
The Bible said it was dirt, and I know the same terms are being used in today's day by the
Mm-hmm.
news, by the experts. They said it's dirt, the dirt of rain, mean that you know none. So the Bible said it was dirt in the land of Egypt, and all the world famine was so sore that the people decided, boy, we don't have water, we don't have food. Sell the cattle to Pharaoh and get food, water. Well, that year did done, cattle
Mhm.
done, they know nothing at all. Them go and them decide so them are gonna sell themselves, sell them lives to Pharaoh to get
Yeah.
water and food. Can you imagine that, Becky? Isn't it a similar situation we're looking at today, or in
Yeah.
the near future
We
where
may not be seeing it, but that's
exactly
where it's
that's where it's
tending.
tending?
Yeah.
Because we're not looking at a case now as how they would have done it, you go there and offer yourself. We're
Mhm.
looking at it through the digital scope
Yeah.
where, as I told you, I'm gonna find that video. I think I'll see it. I'll find that video and play it. Can't see the video, but I'll play the audio. Where for you to get water in the
Mhm.
land, you have to have your digital ID
Mhm.
because that is what is needed to access the source of the water.
Yes.
Because all the water is used up to power these data centers. And you know, a couple months ago to a year, I saw that video, you know, and I made light of it because this never come in it,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes.
I saw it and I see it and I said, this is quite interesting, but I
Couldn't
didn't
the
see it yet.
connection.
Couldn't connect it yet
Yes.
until now. I'm saying almost everywhere now we go on the internet. Persons, I mean, you have to have even councillors and so forth on your behalf,
Mhm.
protesting against the government. I say, look here, this is the quality of the water, you know. The massive data centers are now construct all over the place. It is not only damaging to our health, but it's damaging the water system. You
Mhm.
understand? The food system, the radiation, the poison of the people. Them. Also, they can't get no water. Them have to go far out place. I spend much thousands of dollars now to get in the water so they can
Yeah.
drink and for cooking and stuff like that. And I'm realizing it comes real
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
when the system is fully implemented, the digital system, simply means that these would have taken over the world, these data centers, as we're seeing that they're taking over the world, drinking so much water right now that you don't have any for yourself.
Mhm.
So for you to get now, you will have to be a part of the system. If you cannot present your digital ID people to them, that simply means that you'll have no water to drink. Seems far fetched now, but it's not far fetched anymore because you're in the drought period. You know, I saw something making the rounds. I don't know if I heard it with Jeff Bezos. If I heard it
Which one?
making the rounds,
Mhm.
where he's saying that I'm gonna watch the entire documentary or the entire thing that they did on it, where he's saying that humans must give water to drink so the data center can get it because let me find it quickly and tell you exactly what
Yeah.
it said. He said,
So.
I've been doing some research into it, but
Mhm.
it's a long something that he did documentary.
You have to slice them up, man. So we're having this thing in Jamaica. Cool.
Yes,
So the help is coming mid next year, they say.
yes.
Now by that time, mid next year, the digital system in Jamaica will be so
Mm.
advanced,
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
will be so encompassing that I don't know who will not be on board where
Yes.
that is concerned. No, it will be coming right at a time when the water will be coming
Mm-hmm.
right in a time when to have access, farmer access, and we're not talking just about residents,
Yes.
but business places, government entities, all of that. You have to be connected
Mm-hmm.
digitally. So the help, you can't look at the government and say, boy, you care for it.
Right.
As in, you never really plan for us
Right.
because we need water now, and you are talking about mid next year. It for them it is right in time.
Yes.
You understand? Perfect timing for them. We're having issues also. If you find, let me know. We're having issues also, not
Mm-hmm.
only in the corporate area, but in St. Mary.
Yeah,
And the
man.
issue in St. Mary is a big one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
personal issues. Like,
No, it's
that one, as in, people are being affected, but I see where my
okay.
community is being affected. So that's why I say
Oh,
personal issues.
it is
Yeah,
at
man.
your
Yeah,
doorstep?
man. Is that my? I'll see that where is at my doorstep.
Really?
Yeah, man. And other parts of St. Mary as well. We can play it.
Okay, interesting.
Water restrictions are getting worse in Water restrictions are getting worse in parts of Kingston and St. Andrew. Mountainous community inland mountain communities that usually get plenty of rain are also feeling the effects. These areas have little to no significant details in this report from Dwayne Anderson. The Water River water was once one of the wettest areas on the eastern end of the island, but things have changed, and residents who live in Scotts Hall and the surrounding parts of St. Mary and St. Andrew have felt the changes more than most. Where rivers and streams once snaked, rocks stand alert, and soil lay bare. It's really bad. We haven't had rainfall in quite a while. We have people have to go like 4, 5, 6 miles just to get water. And water has been a serious issue in St. Mary, in Southeast St. Mary, in Scottsdale. We still always have water because there's a water hole up the stream here, which every one of the younger generation, them, all of us at the same age, we used to go up there and swim like every Sunday. Now, it is the hottest time I ever witnessed in my life. And the driest time.
Unprecedented.
The end result, no water to drink, wash clothes, or for other domestic purposes. You have also people have to like trucking water, buying water, and it's very expensive to purchase water for your household. You know, when you can buy a case of water to drink, to use your household stuff, you have to purchase water, and it's very expensive. The little water that sputters through the stream is handled with extreme care by some. A precious commodity harnessed and stored for future use. But amid the struggles and acceptance that human activity has led us to these extreme climatic conditions, our ancestors used to preserve it properly. This generation now, you know, you would say from the 70s come along, you don't teach your children to what was put it there, recycle, preserve the environment. Even planning for the annual Maroon Festival in Scotts Hall this year required extra planning due to the dry spell. But we were so smart in all of doing all of this. Before this end together our resources into restoring all the water that we can reserve it for this event. So we don't really have much of a water problem on this day because we have been proactive.
Been very proactive. No, this is interesting, Giovanni, because we're talking about Wagwater. I don't know if you know about Wagwater River.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wagwater River is the river from which we get all the
Water.
aggregate, you know, the sand and the gravel and stuff that, you know, building construction.
Yes.
And we're not talking about just in St. Mary. You see the trucks going St. Anne,
You know that Jamaica aggregates
Montego Bay.
near to Anatolia.
Yes, man, it's
No
same,
man, I
man.
can't attack.
So that river,
I can't
they're
attack.
having serious
Almost
issues
a
with that
different
river.
river. I can't that river.
So that is the river that goes straight, that is coming way from St. Andrew Hills or so. And it come down, you know, when you're going junction,
Right, yeah man.
the river
yeah,
that
man.
you
Me
see
know
there,
that one.
yeah, that's the one. No,
Yeah, it has to be a different river, man.
they
Show
say
that
it's not
one.
behaving so well. No, you know, it is the volume of water used to come from that river. And when you're on your way to Kingston, and you're going through the junction,
Yes.
that the water used to be very powerful. Used to be very powerful. You used to see kicking up a storm.
Yeah man.
It's more on the quieter side in recent times, and you see that person there telling you, you see people living in Scotts Hall, St. Mary,
Wow.
are telling you that, listen, we have to be walking great distances
Yeah, man.
to get water,
You have to be
to
certain
wash
thin
and
line.
to cook and to clean and all that. There's
Before we go Becky,
there's a little good in it still, but yes.
and this is significant. They connect, realize food, the water, basically how you live.
Yeah.
Living is being affected in such a way now where you realize that you have to make certain compromises to compensate in other areas.
Yeah.
You know that they're treating the local pool of water very careful. You know, like I said, boy, we need to realize, we need to look at how much drops of water we consume on a daily basis now, because
precious
yeah man,
commodity.
precious commodity
Yeah.
based on what is happening now. Before people just used to spurn it, you know, you go and throw some water over this, so you get a bucket and then that shares. No, I'm sure you won't be seeing any of that happening, even now. And it gets even more important, you know, and worse, but you can go ahead.
If you're smart, you know, you conserve.
You need smart water.
Because as we are telling you, and you should be seeing it. There's no really coming out of this.
Yes.
There's no coming out of it. What they tell you about El Nino that
Yeah,
began,
man. Yeah, man.
we started seeing effects of El Nino from about May.
Yes.
May was so hot, and they're telling you that it's going to be at its best.
Mm.
From October
Yeah,
going
man.
down,
Into next
down,
year.
and you're talking about rain time.
Yeah, man.
So you'll be experiencing dry periods during the rain time,
Yes.
during the major rain time. In Jamaica, you're talking about October. You're talking about October rainy month. Anyway, they're saying that's when El Nino will be peaking.
Yes.
So you'll be having a hot October, November, December, January, February. For those who used to use comforter and stuff, there'll be no comfort for you this time around, based on what they are telling and they are
Mm-hmm.
forecasting. Um, so that is the situation, and they're telling you it's going to get worse. So if they're telling you it's going to get worse,
Yes.
remember, it's not really Christians who are saying it's going to
Yes.
get worse.
Yeah.
Normally, they tell us that the Bible say and God say
Yeah,
and
man.
all of that, and
Yeah,
you
man.
pay it no mind.
You
This
know,
time around, it's different, and the Christians I tell you,
the world I tell you it's gonna get worse.
the
Exactly.
world I tell you
You
that
know,
it's
I
going to get
remember as I
worse.
mentioned, I spoke to. I was just
Mhm.
I made a general speech, and this Rasta took it up. So why on the Christians I always have said that? Because I was looking at the heat. And
Mhm.
it's a long time, a couple months ago,
Mhm.
long before this El Nino came in. The heat that was out there,
Yeah.
and the rain, the heat, it was rain heat back
Mhm.
in a couple months ago. And I said that this is gonna bring up some disasters though, because this is not normal. Although this is unprecedented, the rain and heat and rain and heat
Yeah.
for days and end. I'm saying this is not normal. Why no Christian? Why no Christians always say that? Why not basically have negative things
Gloom
always say
and
about it?
doom.
Yeah, man, gloom and doom. Why have anything positive to say like Jesus is Jesus? That some look to him and say that I look to hear. And as you only want to hear the positive certain gospel, so you can live your life in a sin and misery continually. But you know want to hear the part where go wake you up because of the destruction will go before the land. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Destruction will go before the land based on what is happening. Because it is because of the acts of men that are causing these calamities in terms of sin. The
Yeah.
Bible says, if you turn from your wicked ways, I'll heal your land and so forth. God allows these things to happen now to wake up the individuals. As
Yeah.
I said, this is just a mock trial, people. So if you don't wake up now, you're gonna feel the main test.
Mhm.
Simple as that.
Mhm.
If you wake up and pass this mock trial, you're gonna feel the main test. God is trying to wake you up.
Also, the Rastafarian who was being interviewed,
Yes.
from
Oh
Scassa,
yes, man.
he
Yes.
was saying, "Boy, the thing,
Yeah, man.
it's man-made.
Yes. Yes.
We are the ones who mess up the river,
Yes.
and now we're having this kind of problem."
Consequences.
So he was saying the climate change in
Mm-hmm.
Scottsdale is a result of
Man,
activities
with
of
humans. Yeah, man. I
man,
heard that.
natural something. I'm saying, what? Are you that?
Jump on the bandwagon.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. So we're coming closer.
Your JIS News for Tuesday, August 11, 2026.
This is
Yes,
yesterday.
Residents and business operators across several parishes are being advised to brace for prolonged water restrictions starting Monday, August 17. Affected parishes are Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas, St. Mary, Portland, St. Anne, and St. Catherine. In a media release, the Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change says the prohibition notice will be issued for these parishes on August 12 by the National Water Commission, NWC. Under the order, persons are not allowed to use water supplied by the NWC for non-essential or unusual purposes, include irrigation or watering of gardens, lawns, grounds, and farms. Washing of vehicles with the use of a hose is also prohibited, so too are the watering or washing of roadways, pavements, garages, or outrooms. The NWC says any activity requiring excessive or unusual quantities of water is not allowed. During the period, there should be no refilling or supplying of ponds or swimming pools for use other than normal domestic services such as drinking, cooking, washing, bathing, and sanitation. At a recent press briefing, Portfolio Minister Matthew Samuda warned that a prohibition was likely as the island prepares for the new school year in September. No, it is not that the systems and the storage are at critical levels today, but the rainfall that come at the August is not projected to be experienced.
And as a country that would have gone through significant learning loss associated with the COVID pandemic, the disruptions of Hurricane Beryl, Tropical Storm Raphael, and Hurricane Melissa, we simply cannot afford water to learning loss in September.
Learning loss, right?
Yeah. So we care for our children.
I have something for that, because
Yeah.
based on what I'm seeing and the projection and the restrictions that are being put on the commodities that the restrictions are being put on.
Yeah.
You understand? I realize that no man, this strikes some attention to me, because
Yeah.
I'm saying it seems to be planned. How can you be restricting water for farms? Farming. You say you want to eliminate learning loss or mitigate against learning loss.
Yeah.
You still, how do you learn without food? How do you go about without food? How can you be mitigating water from farms? Farming, Becky, we need to get food.
Yeah, but you'll be having food.
From where?
Not from you, but food will be available.
Dear food.
Okay, okay.
Cricket flour and mealworms.
Well, until we get there, they'll be providing food, the kind of food that will still be dangerous to your health.
That is it.
Because
That is it.
We wanted to look at it last week. Some seeds that I don't remember in the United States, but it's coming straight from the Vatican, right? Yeah, man, we have information on that. They're coming straight from the Vatican. They are supplying, the Vatican has a seed vault.
Yeah, man.
With every single seed you ever know. Yeah, stored up there. They are saying, welcome, RJ. Yes, I hear you. Welcome, RJ. They have access to, they have all of the seeds that you can ever think of. So this seeds that you lost maybe in the 70s, Jamaica here.
Yeah, man, they have it.
Or 80s or 90s, they have it. So they have the seed bank there. We also have a seed bank in Jamaica where we have our own seeds and stuff. We were granted some. We were given some seeds the other day. Now just imagine seeds coming from outside of Jamaica, introduced into Jamaica for planting.
Yes.
It cannot be anything that will be good for you. Right? It has to. It's genetically modified.
Yes.
Things. Now when that gets in your system,
serious damage, man.
It doesn't behave the way what you're used to, or the organic things, the way the organic things behave. But in this newscast, they are telling you that today, NWC will be informing the nation, especially these nations, these parishes that they mentioned.
Is that only so? Isn't it that also today the restrictions will start to feel the effects rather of the restrictions that have been put in place? Because it seems to me that Monday's restriction is different from today's restrictions. So there's one for Monday for probably corporate areas, but in our area, St. Mary, report and so forth, they'll be feeling the effects of it from today, the 12th. Or today's the 12th,
You mean
from
them?
Yeah, man, from using NWC.
No, but we have been experiencing that for a while now. Because I have relatives who used to show off on me. In-laws used to show off on me that, boy, the water. I feel pipe not turn off, as in, anytime you go there and turn, there is water. They are telling us on that, why they have to rush and go bathe before 9 in the night. It's talking about NWC water supply here.
Wow.
So they're having that experience. They have been having that experience for some time now. Sometime now. I remember the restrictions no take effect yet.
Exactly. So
that takes effect on Monday.
So just imagine the effects that will have on the people, Becky, when this prohibition is put into place.
Wow, car wash.
No, I was looking at that.
Car wash go up no more than any
I mean, during my study on this, I see, because I've realized, the significance of this right now. Because this is the main theme or the main topic right now.
Yeah.
Every newscast going right now, fire, flood, rain, something with weather, some strange weather phenomenon that is all over the newscast everywhere right now. This is the main theme of what is happening. Even myself here, Becky, have been so overwhelmed by it, you know. Because when I go and look news on a daily basis to see what's happening, it's just this I'm seeing. And I'm saying this is very interesting.
Yeah.
I've not seen this in life where the extremes of the weather that we're experiencing is so what's the word now? Prevalent.
Yeah.
So prevalent. I've never been so prevalent before. So rapid and intense. So the rapidity and the intensity of the disasters have never been before. Even the Rasta Scots say, boy, this a heat. I never experienced this a heater before.
Yeah.
Now a few years, 70s, I
And
never experienced a heat.
he has age.
Exactly, he has
He
age. That's
seems
what I'm saying.
as
You can
though
see
he's
his
in
age.
his
60s,
Yeah.
right? He said never experienced this kind of heat. I've said the same thing to my grandfolks that look here. I'm sure you never experienced this kind of weather before in all your life. No, this cannot be natural.
Yeah.
This cannot be normal. This is not anything normal. Can't people see? I don't know what more you want people to hear or to see to determine that we're living in the end of time. To see, I don't think there's anything more there is to see right now to make that confirmation in your head that we're living in the end of time. And the scenes that we're seeing now will only get worse until Christ comes. Because imagine now, we're looking at job losses.
Yeah.
We're looking at food loss. We're looking at electricity loss. Yeah, man, that is in it. I'm gonna show that. I have information on that. We're looking at water loss, which is the biggest one. So we're looking at a whole heap of losses on our side, and those are commodities that people use now. Imagine you're so accustomed to these things, and boom, just a couple of weeks, everything just gone. How are you? What plans what proactive measures rather would you have put in place in which you can mitigate against these things and survive?
Yeah.
We have plan. If you don't have God in nothing, you know. If you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you will plan to fail.
Well, you're actually planning to fail, you know.
Exactly.
It's unavoidable.
Yes.
So that is happening in Jamaica, and it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yes.
They are telling you that well, you can wash car using water,
but the rivers are dry up.
You can do your farming using NWC water, as in at home.
Yeah, man.
And maybe farms too. If
No,
you
man.
have,
I believe
we're not talking about the big farms. You know, those at home, you can use it to wash. You can wash car. They're talking about pools too, swimming pools and stuff.
Yes.
But they're saying that during the period, this will not be allowed to happen.
Yes.
Welcome, Carl Jackson.
Yes.
During the period, this will not be allowed to happen. No, they are talking about during the El Nino period.
Yeah, man.
No.
How long is that?
They talk during the period like it's 1 month.
Yeah, or like a couple weeks, you know. But not only that, Becky.
Yeah.
If we're experiencing these prohibition measures now and it seems dire, seems draconian as well. Boy, it's like a COVID style thing. Why me can't do this? Me I pay that man. Me can't.
Yeah.
You know? You're being restricted on every part where water is concerned. This is just the beginning. You know? Just imagine a couple more weeks down the line. Cause we feel the effects.
Yeah.
But we don't feel the baleful effects yet. Because just the prohibition just are coming to effect. Just imagine down the line now when you really start feeling the effects.
Yes.
You know, I said to my wife the other day that, boy, I'm going to get my car wash 2 days or so because this might be the last one she get in front of car wash. Because now
you have to wash it and put it down.
Exactly. Put it down because me can't. Because I can't go wash it there. Because I'm not going to water for wash it. I can't wash it with that. I left it.
Wash it and put it. So you wash it and then you bathe.
Yeah, man.
You bathe and you stay
cover it with a tapa and I leave it.
Because you mean I get no water for bathe again. But look at it. They're saying during the period.
Yes.
Now this El Nino situation, they're looking at going into March next year.
March.
There's a reason. There's a reason the government is putting in measures in place.
Yes.
To the thing we're talking about, the backward garbage. To ensure that there is additional supply or supply in the corporate area. Now, if this thing are gonna stop somewhere in March,
right?
And they are telling you about mid next year.
Hold on, before you say that.
Yes.
When this drought start, no March, April, and you say it will go into. Say I say this dry spell or this drought is gonna catch us. How does that make sense? And
Into
next,
another
the next
drought.
dry season we are going to
No,
not help with.
don't look for water anytime
Yeah,
soon,
not anytime soon.
right? Because the purpose of the system that they are putting that they're starting out in
Yes.
St. Catherine is to take care of the issues in the corporate area.
Yes.
Now they're telling us that there will be situations like that in the corporate area
Yes.
for them to
Mm.
sort out put those measures in
But when I look
place.
on that, Becky,
It will be continuing for a
for a very long time. Yes, we
very
see
long
that.
time.
That is where we advise your people, as you see in the caption or in the title.
Yeah.
It is now time to plan. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Well, and it's kind of late to plan.
That is it. Because before we play, when I look at those in the corporate era,
Yes.
I'm saying it's like someone told me originally, somebody the other day, introducing them to what is coming in terms of the digital system and how to prepare. That God is our only refuge, and they were saying to me that even up in our era, that that gets rain basically every day. Well, that was back then. They were so accustomed before I moved here, so accustomed that they didn't even need tanks that we have now, because we used to get water regularly on a regular basis. That's in the country.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now about the corporate areas who are so accustomed to getting water every day through them pipeline. Me no need a tank, me no drum, me need nothing. Every day water flow. If no water is not there, probably a couple of minutes down and it's up again. How do persons like that plan when they're so accustomed to not having any water when they only have between now and Monday?
Yeah.
To get it when so when the water start, the restriction of the water has started because it trickle now in the pipe. The volume is not as high as it used to be. How do you store so much water for such a long period of time?
Not just them, but you're talking about St. Mary.
No, I'm coming to St. Mary. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
We somewhat would have been better because we would have had tanks already and so forth. Storing water because we don't get it on a regular basis. But for them now who don't have any in the corporate area because you don't use the hype life, you have water every day to your faucet and whatever, have that. We know we have a better advantage because we have some tankers stored already because we don't get water so often. Imagine you will get it every day and blop, just gone.
So it's a more rural St. Mary you're talking about.
Yeah, man, more rural St. Mary.
Because we who are on the coast of St. Mary, we don't have water issues.
That's what I'm saying.
Because water is always in the pipe. So this thing about economizing, it's not a thing that we practice or need to practice because we always have water. The commodity. Now just imagine no rainfall, no pipe water, and they are telling you are not able to plant anymore. You can't plant anymore. Exactly. They're saying you must use the NWC water to water your plants. You're not getting the rainfall.
That is it. Rivers dry up.
Not getting the rainfall. So many persons use the tank water for whatever it is.
Yeah, man, yes.
From the rainfall, no rainwater,
no river water,
NWC water,
no river water,
no river water, because the rivers are drying up. Now you will have to depend on the system.
That is it.
You don't have a choice.
Not a choice.
You are surrounded.
That is it. That is it. Surrounded. We are surrounded.
Big time.
That is it.
And all they use so far is just water.
Exactly.
Just water.
But we realize that it runs into a chain reaction.
Yeah.
We can see right here can affect food because the water can grow food.
Yeah.
That now runs into work, that runs into sickness, disease, whole heap of thing. Not having water alone.
It's not all that.
You can imagine that.
All right. So we're going Kenya because what we're seeing is that the water rationing.
Yes.
The need to employ that kind of measure in every country. Well, by the government. It's not just happening in Jamaica.
Yes.
It's happening worldwide. But we're just going to look at 2 other countries.
Yes.
Looking here at Kenya.
Newborn health care across the county. Residents of Mbeere South have accused the Embu Water and Sanitation Company of subjecting them to what they describe as arbitrary water rationing, saying the prolonged shortage has disrupted their daily lives and left many families struggling to access the essential commodity. Speaking to the press at the Kiritiri market, the residents claim that several areas have gone for months without reliable water supply, despite continuing to receive monthly bills from the water service provider. The residents said persistent water shortage has forced them to depend on unsafe and expensive resources, exposing households to the risk of waterborne diseases.
Yeah, see there.
A 7 days ultimatum that they need to, one, cease the rationing, and if they are to ration, let
Much
them
days
be
we get.
logical in their rationing, because we can bury South where we never get water. Number two, provide the residents of Mbeere South with information on how, where water will be when, so that they don't allow water at night when people are asleep and when they are not aware. Then when you ask them, they will be saying, oh, the water was there at night. No, they need to provide us with information. Failure to that, we have talked with our battery of lawyers who will file a petition against the WASCO. We will stage a serious demonstration. Tuko na mashida mingi sana huku maji hatujui.
Yes, so some things I'm not really.
Understand.
Yeah.
Understand.
But it goes.
I mean,
let me see if we can go a little further.
Kama sasa niko hapa Kiretire, Kadmari wanafanyia kazi na maji iweze kufika.
All right. Yeah, it continues. So he's talking in his
lazy language, native language.
different tongue.
It is serious, Becky.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so smart. That's why black people smart, The man say provide us with the necessary information. So you're not gonna put your night when you're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it reminds me of. I don't know if you saw the big demolition that took place in Trelawney recently, like probably yesterday.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Reading the news article came in the news. I know it's around 3 a.m. The people don't call demolish. People building when them still not bid and support. So there could not be any whether kind of media. I don't know. That's an on-screen thing, like you do it another day, so the media can come down and report these things.
And then
early in the morning,
social media can do them
can go down and say it earlier in the morning, 3 o'clock. So by the time media reach on the scene, you're done your demolition. What you need to do. So it reminds me when the man said, "Don't come in the night, send water. Everybody asleep can catch it and come in the morning." So this send it night. It's serious, but it's funny, but it's serious. Very serious.
All right. So you have a water rationing happening.
Yes.
In my area.
Wow.
Cool. Because you used to get water.
Yeah, man. Right.
There's a thing known as water. Once you turn the pipe on,
you get water.
Now you have water rationing. So throughout yesterday, no water. At about 8 o'clock in the night, realize that water is there.
Right.
By 8:30,
gone.
No water. So if you now sit up,
wow,
I maybe keep the pipe on, when the water comes. So there's no information. So similar things are happening, and it will continue like that. I don't think the thing will be so structured.
Yes.
To please you. I don't think it's all about you, right? Because the aim is not to accommodate you for you. Even though Sustainable Development Goal of the United Nations, number 6, it's in the potable water by 2030 for everybody. Potable water, I agree with them, but potable water under what condition?
That is it. Look at even overseas now, Georgia and places like those, they have the data centers. They have potable water, water guards, potable water they might get. That the guards we have in Jamaica, look at brown water that they can have potable water they're getting. But my concern was though, Becky, you mentioned that they want to use water from the gorge. Well, not you, but the news media.
Yeah.
Government want to use that to facilitate the declining water or the water shortage that is affecting the corporate area.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, use it for what? For sanitary use? Because I don't see how you can clean the water for me drink it.
No man, a fresh water. So it's going to be purified. Well, just like NWC, Yeah, man.
That don't make a difference.
NWC water.
It don't make a difference. At the same water you gotta do, it's like any water, so I don't see how you can purify that water for people to drink it. When you look at the condition of that water, no matter how clear it wants look.
A pretty water.
No matter how clear it wants to look. It will be
filled with
impurities.
Supposed to water. So the bottled water you get from United States.
Yes. No, we not get no water from
United States. Where that come from?
It's only spring water.
You know buy it?
No, sir.
When you got the bossy supermarket,
I can't afford it.
You know buy it. I don't want to call the brand name. Yeah, the brand
Yeah,
name.
there's no advertising.
Pretty water. It's
Mhm.
American water. You
And
don't
that's
like
where the
American
trouble.
water?
That's where the trouble is at the American. That is why, boy, I don't understand. That's where the control comes in.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Almost every water over America. I know I'm mentioning to my wife. They were saying even and developed cities.
Yeah.
You're trapped, because you're not like me now. Because where I get water from, I get from the spring, and I go to the spring, catch my water, and I come back at my yard. Right,
Yeah.
I'm due to go there again. So that's where I get drinking water from, straight from the spring. So what happens is that
You shouldn't share that, You shouldn't share that at all. I'm going to restrict
no
your
restriction.
movements,
When I walk through bush, I live in a rural area. I can walk through bush and reach there.
Yeah.
I hope a different spring can go. So what is happening now is that in those areas, it is so restrictive. Not like me who can go a spring for get water. You know, no spring to go. Because then in the city where you have to depend on the potable water come to your pipe.
Yes.
So if you don't have none, dog, nyam, you suffer.
Yes.
That's just where it's at. So now people are, what I would say now, the Bible means that feeling them for fear. People are really bad now because they must say them can't manage to go so far. You're living in this area, if you go way out of rural, if you get local water, it's very expensive. You know how work now based on how this system is being set up. So how do you manage? People are, I don't know if it's worse than stress. And stress now because people are going through every somebody are complaining about water problem right now. Food problem run into occupational job problem. And they're going on electricity problem right now because run the thing them or run a light, you need water to cool it down. And the water to cool them down. I went as far as thinking if this is the what I was talking about. The blackout that's gonna be worse than COVID. Call it COVID-19. And if this is the blackout because reactors in shut down.
Yeah.
And that's why I realized that it's not only the data centers drink up the water. You have the reactors will drink up the water or supply electricity to communities. So if them not no water for you supply them, simple means that you will have no electricity.
And there are things in the atmosphere right now that are sucking up the water also.
Yes. I just want to read this.
Even sucking up the water out of the leaves.
Out of the leaves.
plants.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that one is very unprecedented for me.
It's one.
This has been making the rounds. So I'm here to watch the entire video clip.
Yeah.
It was an interview that he was getting. And they said it here. I was doing some more research on it though, but it's a very long interview. Where Bezos was saying if we starve our data infrastructure of cooling resources just to sustain baseline human comfort, we are actively delaying the birth of a super intelligence that could solve all of our resource problems in the first place.
Right.
So just imagine that.
So
we can't supply you with water. Sacrifice, give you some. Sacrifice the amount of water you drink a day.
Sacrifice human life.
That is
so that this thing can come on board to solve the problems that humans are
facing. Our humans are causing. Because human-based climate crisis, that's it.
So I'm gonna kill you so I can solve your problems. Because you're feeling.
But that would simply mean that you are the problem. So they eliminate you. And indeed, based on based on expert scientists, the Pope himself, that was Pope Francis, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Back when he was reigning, it was stated quite frankly, you could have easily you didn't need a fine teeth comb to read through those lines. That we are the problems that are causing this climate crisis, and in for it to be solved, humans need to be eliminated. Yeah, man. And we're not looking at just a couple. We're looking at 8.8 billion people need to be eliminated to solve this resource climate crisis that we're experiencing. You just imagine that.
And there are many ways that you can solve,
of course,
the human existence problem.
And I want you to understand that this is one of the major ones. It keeps on coming in my mind. That remember when I took it from the New York Post when the El Nino, the other worst one, that took effect in 1877. Over 60 million people died, and I was like, no, that can't happen today. That back then, when things weren't as industrialized as now. Of course, we have mitigation methods that can't happen. Then you look at what is happening now. Look at Europe especially, the amount who are being we call that displaced into areas. So the whole of the fires and so forth that drive all the waters that are there. People are clamoring, and you show now Africa, and you're seeing that this is not far fetched then, because indeed we're looking at millions going to die. Because people them not the water for drink. They might look for waterborne
The
disease.
story in Africa
That's what I'm saying.
for a long time.
Yes.
As in persons are dying,
Yes.
diseases
Yes.
as a result of
Yes.
Drinking
Drinking unpotable water that is not potable.
all that kind of thing.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned the water down there.
But while all of that is taking place in Jamaica,
Yes.
we also have this taking place.
Yes.
Now I want you to try and put it together and see if it makes sense.
Yes.
Right? This is taking place in Jamaica as we
Government
speak.
minister is calling on Jamaican women to have a government minister is calling on Jamaican women to have more children as the country's birth rate continues to fall. St. Anne's Southwestern MP and State Minister Xavier Main says the declining population is already affecting schools in his constituency. More in this report.
In recent months, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has been sounding the alarm over Jamaica's declining birth rate. Now, St. Anne's Southwestern Member of Parliament Xavier Main is warning that fewer births could mean fewer students in schools, fewer workers in the future, and an overall decline in Jamaica's population. Mr. Main says the impact is already being felt in his constituency, where one school recently had to close its doors because there were not enough students to keep it open.
More than one, more than two. You have to go out there and go some more people. To have some more children. Because if you don't have people, school can't remain open. We can't give you no one.
Mr. Main, who is also the state minister and the minister of finance, says the situation may require government intervention, with the state considering ways to support and encouraging more women to have children.
I am certain, I am confident that not too long from now the government will be leading on a drive to ensure that we can stimulate, encourage, and increase the birth rate that we see now, because we know that the birth rate is not at the level that we want it to. So for those of you waiting on the government, I am confident that not too long from now, the policies will be communicated, the plans will be advanced. Because for those of you who fear that you can't afford building, government is going to help you to have building and maintain building.
What else to me?
So the future is promising. Now, in a time, Giovanni, welcome Terry. In a time when we are told that survival is going to be very challenging because we don't have water to exist at present. We are told that we need to get together with our partners and have as many children as possible because the country needs it. Now, for you to exist so that you can procreate, you need water.
Yeah, man.
For you to take care of children, as in during the 9 months,
you need water.
You're going to need water. Because they're catering for a greater number of persons in the family. And whenever that child, for mixed feeding, you're going to need water. There's no rainwater, there's no piped water, there's no water, and you have children. Children are going to die if they are alive. But the promise, which I know it's going to come true, take it from me, it's going to come true. They are promising that if you have picnic, you're going to take care of your picnic.
Yeah, man. Of course, you want to take care of your picnic.
But the how is the big problem.
That is it. How do you going to take care of the child? That is it. How?
It's the how, Seeing at a slavery. That the previous one cannot compare. It faints. It dim.
I saw that news
compared to what is coming.
And I'm seeing it was a big issue because I was reached out by a relative as well.
Yeah.
A relative reached out to me to say, what is your take on this situation where they want to increase the birth rate and the depopulation agenda that they have to just leave? And I said, well, simply no. All the government is saying is just a facade.
Yeah.
You understand? You You have to understand that when you reach certain ranks in government and they touch certain sensitive topics, whatever they say, they mean the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can be inducing the public, stimulating, encouraging the public to be having children. Yes, still all the products on the market and the shelves are doing the complete opposite.
Mhm.
They are affecting the hormonal balances of the people, giving them imbalances and so forth, so they can have kidney.
Mhm.
So you have measures in place, have things coming in at the country, stack up in the supermarket, haberdasheries, to keep them from having kidney, yet still you want them to have children. How that makes sense? I told her that it is a means because Jamaica is a very rebellious nature in terms our country, in terms of our resilience.
Yeah.
So for because I want to keep them under bay, they want any civil unrest, they want any massive protest or anything. They give them things to keep them cool, tell them something what they want. You hear the crowd that rile up. Yeah man, government they gotta take care of them. You hear them? You hear them what you hear? I say yes, yes, yes. You keep them calm and give them something that they want to hear. You understand? While under the wraps, you do the complete opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's no way you can want a depopulation agenda, yet you want to repopulate the earth. No. Say something when they want to hear, and the people love to hear that too. Government that take care of people, yes, we're gonna have them. Yet still all the products on the market are in the complete opposite that kill about you and the child, especially the powder, the baby powder.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
people use them sitting all the while, those are hormonal we cause hormonal disturbances and there are disruptions to the endocrine system, the whole system, and it's not only females but males. So it's only the female now would have the chance to have the child, but the male would have a challenge as well. So it's both parties now that are being attacked. Yes, still they want the birth rate to increase. Where?
But what we see happening through the world now is that even at birth,
Yes.
the children are provided with a digital ID.
Yes. Yes.
So talk about the birth certificate as well.
I recent joke when they just born,
No man, you have to get that. That's a must.
Okay, so
that is a must.
reach there's a hit.
Yeah man, we can't wait for you to
Just born and get a shot.
exit the womb.
Yeah man, you get the shot.
Yes. So this brand new motor vehicle, even better than a motor vehicle.
It's like cows and calves, them born, you tag them, my own this.
Well, at least tag nobody no.
No man, I'm saying that is dear for my tagging.
Yes,
That they have,
it's not nice. So the devil wants to control the minds of humanity.
Yes.
Because he knows that if he can control the mind, then that soul is of no use.
Yes.
When it comes on to eternity.
That is it.
Because it can't be nothing but eternal damnation. That will be the fate of that individual.
Exactly.
So the presence or the image of God in man is what he wants to mar, and he will go at any length to have that done. Yes. And he has but a short time with which to accomplish this, and we are seeing where he's doing a marvelous work so far.
Amen.
And he does it in so many ways. The devil is behind all that we are seeing right now.
Yes.
All of the things. So he's the one who used humanity to create these kind of situations, as in the famine, the diseases, whatever it is, to destroy humanity. Just like that. Destroy humanity.
Just like that.
So we have to hold on to God.
Amen. So true.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take a short break. We haven't taken a break in
it's 19 minutes after 8. This is 96.3 FM.
Yes.
Drive Time Bible Study.
Yes, and we're back. We're really some serious times, but there are times we're living in people. I'm glued to the newscast on a daily basis. Becky, where my wife saying to me that, man, you have enough for the reading, you don't need anymore. But it's like I'm addicted. It's like every day you can't believe the things that are happening. Before your eyes. Yeah. It's like you see it, and I'm watching them. You see clips on there, but I'm like, man, this real.
Last week's information is useless.
Yeah, man, I tell you, useless today. The amount It's like
Yes.
I have some things to present that I didn't get to present from last week. I'm gonna say, boy, I come like a useless
Yeah,
all
yeah,
this
man.
week
Yes,
because the
yes.
amount of things that happen.
I
I
think
mean,
get it,
no,
you
me
have to
still I
get
gotta
it.
have more,
Give
and I
it.
can become useless by next week.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty life because people before, I mean, the unprecedentedness, the rapidity and intensity of these events
Mm-hmm.
is beyond me. Is only thing I can say is that God is about to put in His appearance.
Yeah.
You understand? It is time to be prepared. And as usual, I want to start off with the devotional. This one is quite interesting, so please listen.
Mm-hmm.
It states in these hours of probation, very important. So while probation lingers, people, you need to make use of it. It says here that I have heard in a time accepted. I'm reading from 2 Corinthians 6 verse 2. I'm accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. We believe without a doubt that Christ is soon coming. This is not a fable to us, it is a reality. We have no doubt, neither have we had a doubt for years, that the doctrines we hold today are present truth and that we are nearing the judgment. We are preparing to meet him who, escorted by a retinue of holy angels, is to appear in the clouds of heaven to give the faithful and the just the finishing touch of immortality. Stick up in there just for a minute. I want us to understand how important this is, people. And the reason why it is important is because we're at Luke 21:26 right now. Men's hearts are failing for fear, for looking on the things that are coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. You know, the verse that precedes that comes immediately after that is the fact that Christ will come in the clouds of heaven. You
Yeah.
just imagine that. That's the last thing, and we're experiencing it now. Hear what the reading says. We are preparing to meet him who, escorted by a retinue of angels, holy angels, is to appear in the clouds of heaven to give the faithful and the just the finishing touch of immortality. Keep that in mind. That is where we are about to embark upon now.
Yeah.
Because we're in that time when men's hearts are failing for fear and they're looking unto the things coming on the earth right now. The powers of heaven are being shaken.
Check.
You know, it is a continual process. It's not like you hear this and today just start shaking. It's just like the seventh trumpet. The seventh trumpet will Christ's second coming. What has started from 1844. So it runs concurrently for a period of time. So it is when um, men's heart will feel him for fear, will run for a period of time into Christ's second coming. And indeed, we are seeing where it has started, Becky, to
Yeah.
run, you
Yeah.
know, because judgment has now passed on to the living. It says here that when he comes, he is not to cleanse us of our sins, to remove from us the defects in our characters, or to cure us of the infirmities of our tempers and dispositions. If wrought for us at all, this work will be accomplished before that time. When the Lord comes, those who are holy will be holy.
Yeah.
Those who have preserved their bodies and spirits in holiness, in sanctification and honor, will then receive the finishing touch of immortality. But those who are unjust, unsanctified, and filthy will remain so forever. No work will then be done for them to remove their defects and give them holy characters. The refiner does not then sit to pursue his refining process and remove their sins and their corruption. This is all to be done in these hours of probation. And I hope you realize it mentions hours, people, not days, not weeks, not
Yeah.
months, not years.
Yeah.
Hours. Today is the day of salvation. Hard not your heart, Hebrews 3 tells us as in a provocation. But turn to Christ today while it is called, not tomorrow. It says that we embrace the truth of God with our different faculties. And as we come under the influence of that truth, it will accomplish the work for us which is necessary to give us a moral fitness for the kingdom of glory and for the society of the heavenly angels. We are now in God's workshop. Many of us are rough stones from the quarry, but as we lay hold upon the truth of God, its influence affects us. It elevates us and removes us from every imperfection and sin of whatever nature. Thus, we are prepared to see the King in his beauty and finally to unite with the pure and heavenly angels in the kingdom of glory. It is here that this work is to be accomplished for us, here that our bodies and spirits are to be fitted our mortality. And I say amen to that. Up there, Becky will have no water or food crisis. Yes. Luke 21:26. Scripture I've been quoting from earlier this morning. It says, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Yeah.
Let's look on how men's hearts are feeling for fear. What is happening in the earth today that is causing that? Now, I thought you'd have mentioned this one, Becky, but I didn't touch that mention it. This is from July. Remember now, August. But this is just about two and a half weeks ago. July 26, 2026. Egg farmers count millions in losses as heat stress takes toll on chickens. And this is Jamaica we're talking about. This from the Gleaner. It says, the higher temperatures affecting Jamaica are taking a toll on the country's egg farmers, with bird deaths mounting and egg production declining, says the president of the Jamaica Egg Farmers Association. In an interview with the Gleaner, he indicated that farmers across the island have so far reported a combined total of 1,200 chickens dying as a result of the heat. This figure represents a total of a potential loss of 3,600 boxes of eggs. That calculates to 18 million in revenue loss. How much that now? Revenue loss alone. It says, in addition to the loss of chickens, he stated the intense heat has significantly reduced egg production among those that remain alive. So those who die, you lose already, and then you have a problem with those who are living. Birds do not eat during the heat. I never know that until I see this news. Birds do not eat.
They're uncomfortable.
Yeah, man. Birds do not eat during the heat. If they don't eat, they don't lay, and more dying occurs, he explained. Campbell said farmers are also being forced to spend more money to protect their flocks from the high temperatures while dealing with declining production. So imagine that. You are spending more than what you're receiving. I wouldn't call that in our economics. In our economics now, Becky. You know, when expenditure expenditure over you, where end up with?
Yeah, we end up with bankruptcy.
Insolvency
and
bankruptcy. When expenditure overrides revenue, people, that is bankruptcy. You understand? And that is what is happening now. This is Jamaica, but it's not only privy to Jamaica, it's all over the world right now. And it gets even worse. So it says that farmers have to install sprinklers to cool down the birds and purchase anti-heat medication. All this is happening while production is falling. So you spend more where I get. He noted that the industry has faced a series of setbacks in recent years, and he cited from Hurricane Melissa and Beryl the year before. So you have been hit from the year before. So a year before that, 2024 with Beryl. We are trying to come up back on your foot and one. It seems like things are becoming steady. Bam, Hurricane Melissa hit in 2025, and I said, man, what is this? I can right back to square one again and say, okay, I'll try one more time. And then bam, heat, El Nino come hit you. I wouldn't say 3 strikes and you're out. You're not coming back up, you know. You're not coming back up. And let me show you why they're not coming back up, people. Listen to this now. Let me show you on this one, so I need to go into this one. Water prohibition of the nation. So let me skip that one. But look at how we're not coming back up. So Hurricane Beryl, that a 1 strike now, so you try to come back up. Melissa strike again, that a 2 strike, and now El Nino. 3rd strike. Listen to this. It says here that let me find it. Let me find the one, sorry. Yes, where it says individuals will not be, they are giving up the farms in St. Catherine. I know about that one, Becky, that is happening. Correct?
Giving up the farm.
Yeah, man. Let me get the news. The news.
So we're having COVID-19 2.0 here.
Yes. So that was what? July 26th, I read, with the egg farmers and so forth.
Yeah.
Now we're at the 4th of August, 2026. We have decided to give up the farm. Remember, I said 3 strikes and out, then I come back up. It says here, as parts of Jamaica endure meteorological drought conditions and prolonged dry spells that are lowering water storage levels and disrupting supply systems, small farmers across St. Catherine are counting heavy losses, and it's not St. Catherine alone, and questioning how much longer they can remain in action. No, imagine the farmer them give up. What we are going? Farmer them give up now.
I told you that we'll be having food.
What kind of food do you want?
So if the farmers are discouraged and give up their farms, that is what the powers that be want to hear.
That is it. That is it.
because they have food for us.
Yeah, man. They have this stuff.
Fear not. So if a food are your problem, no
You
one
know, have
yourself.
none.
And a matter of fact, the farmers, they are discouraging the farmers in many ways.
No,
With
that
the
is it.
same
Yeah, man.
rationing.
Yeah, man. Yes.
You
That is
can't
why
just use your NWC water and take care of your
exactly
farm. It's
can't do
about
that.
sprinklers.
Exactly. It not gonna work. It says here that the rural RADA estimates that drought-related losses have exceeded 1,600 hectares island-wide, amounting to almost 900 million and affecting more than 16,000 farms. That's 16,000 households without food. For Wayne and Suzette Levy of Bellevue Heights in St. Catherine, it says the crisis is intensely personal. The couple who operates a pumpkin and watermelon farm behind their home believe their losses are not reflected in the official figures. Although they have been invested in infrastructure for drip irrigation, the cost of purchasing water has become prohibitive, running into hundreds of thousands of dollars each month. Just imagine when your revenue is lower than the expenditure.
So the aim is to frustrate.
That is it. The person says that we have planted over an acre of watermelon to see how it would survive the drought, but they are dried up. His wife, Suzette, said their pumpkin crops suffered the same fate. The pumpkin we planted when cannot afford the water. So you see how it's affecting both occupation and the food at the same time.
And you need double water, you know. Even
That is
though you need double
that is what I'm
because
saying. But look how much
drying
water
up.
they had.
Mhm.
They have constructed a 66,000 gallon water tank, a whole heap of water,
yeah, that's a lot.
66,000, a whole heap of water. That
Decent.
exactly decent. So that simply means it's a decent farm they have around a yard, decent sized farm. They said they have constructed a 66,000 gallon water tank on their property, but say its capacity is insufficient to sustain the farm through prolonged dry conditions. It says when we want water, a third of this water goes in for a week. Imagine, man, 1/3 of it gone in a 1 week. So it come like the Mona Reservoir. How much millions gone in 4 days? So within 3 or 4 weeks, you don't have any water. And if we should fill this tank, we would be looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars per month.
Yes.
Wayne said they have now made the painful decision to step away from crop farming. We sat down and talked about this, but look, listen, this is a careful partner. Remember, we just talked about the chicken them, right? Chicken them are lose out. They cannot sustain. Can't be sustained. The heat is killing them, cannot produce. And this is what the couple decided to do. They want to step away from the farming, but look what they want to do now.
Yeah.
We sat down and talked about this, and we came to the decision that it's best we give up the farm altogether. We have some common fowl, so we plan to raise them for egg production.
Okay.
So you just read about the egg production. The man at July 26th that the egg thing happened, and this is the 4th of August.
From one problem to another.
To the other. That's why I'm telling you, say, there's no coming back.
Yeah.
3 strikes and you're out. So they say now that they want to raise some common fowl and they want to raise them for egg production. That's where we are at. When somebody said that's where they are, is nothing else.
Yeah.
And that alone in the mining can't think nothing else to do. So they said that's where we're at right now. They noted adding that if help does not come their way, they may have to consider selling out. No once. That is very important, you know. And help not gonna come their way because if you are if you are giving up the farm.
Imagine selling out to who?
No man, that's where the problem comes in.
To me and you.
No man,
me and you.
Problem. Me and you. We are going right back to Genesis 47. People.
Yeah.
The people sold their lives and their property to Pharaoh, to the system, the state. Remember, I know the people that do the farming. Farming now work out.
Yeah.
Them decide, say, man, we're going to egg production. And that now go work out. Because the fall them now go lay. So you still are going at it. Yeah. And the people themselves that not work out, them are going to sell out. So it was in the beginning. So shall it be in the end.
True.
Same thing we're experiencing right now, Becky. I mean, we not say nothing yet, you know. You see people walk fine and then there's some of those reason with me that they that understand or never would know what is in the minds of the people what they might go through. It's stress where the people they might go through from this thing that is happening upon them. We not say nothing yet. Men not feeling them for fear.
Yeah.
We not say nothing yet, people. Just imagine.
Yes, man. Yes.
Just imagine me I do my farming. All of my life me know this thing and this me know. And we're coming to St. Elizabeth as well. Farming me know. Me not farming. that now work out. All right, I'm trying the aspect of farming. I'm going to egg production.
Mhm.
Why that still not work? And at this alone, I can't think we can't go no further
And
because
you know it now. Work.
you know it not go work, right?
Going into a business like that, you would check, you would find out how
Yes.
feasible it would be
That is it.
at this time. Hurricanes, before even COVID-19,
Yes.
certain things like those were perfect.
Yes.
You know, the whole chicken and eggs
Yes.
production was okay. Since COVID-19, things have changed.
That
in
is
a
it.
Great way.
Great way.
Great way.
That is why I said that
Yeah.
is one of the points I used to say that that's when the men's art field in Porphyria started.
Mhm.
From that point, we have had no rest
Yeah.
up until now.
Mhm.
It just has been a continuous trend.
Welcome, Sherbian
Yes.
and Sadika
Yes.
and
welcome.
Teddy. Good to have you on.
Yes.
Thanks for joining.
Now, Mr. Douglas,
Mm-hmm.
Robert Douglas from Top Mountain in Kitson Town,
Yeah.
says the drought has virtually brought production on his 2-acre farm to a stand still,
Mm-hmm.
with drought condition persisting and rainfall remaining well below normal in parts of the island. This is what the news is saying now. Many farmers say the future of their livelihoods depends not only on the return of the rains, but also a greater investment in irrigation,
Mhm.
infrastructure, and targeted support to protect Jamaica's food security. Now, let's look on this and see if it's positive now.
Yeah.
So, them say, the farmers don't know. So, the future of their livelihood. So, if this not happen, I dead, then dead, that them are saying. So, the future of their livelihoods
Mm-hmm.
depends not only on the return of the rain, so that I one. Will the rain return? Will it return? People must say El Nino go, what? It just a peak right now.
Yeah,
And to
yeah.
go all in next year. So if your farm dry up now and upon a standstill, I think you can fast right now till the mid next year. I think nobody can fast along still. So that is one.
Yeah.
If a rain return, that I one, them livelihood look dim. The rain return. And number two, they have to have put a greater investment in what has NWC said recently for water them farm. So what kind of irrigation system them are going to put in place? In Becky, we're not only experiencing the drought and the water and the food shortage and water shortage, but we're realizing the system isn't making it any better on our part,
Yeah.
So we are experiencing this thing. Farms are going down. Yet still they're telling me that I cannot water my farm.
Your hands are tied.
Some hands are tied.
Yeah.
Hands, foot, body are tied up.
Mm-hmm.
So we realize that we're between, we're doing devotion the other day, my wife and I said that, oftentimes God puts us into straight paths, so we can only look to Him and know that He is God and only Him we can depend on.
Mm-hmm.
The devotion was on the matter of the children of Israel coming out of Egypt, and when they reach the Black Sea for cross, they start cuss, nice.
The Red Sea.
The Red Sea, sorry, yes. And Moses that just say, stand still and see the salvation of our God. Exodus 14:13.
Mm-hmm.
And in verse 14 says, the Lord will fight for you and ye shall hold your peace. That is our safe space right now. That is our only hope right now. You see the farmers are for them hope if the rain and for the irrigation thing, which none of them know look prosperous. Our only hope right now is in God, people. You understand? The children of Israel are put between a rock and a hard place. Literally. They're between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea. Never see how they go cross the Red Sea, and then see how they go pass Pharaoh's army. So they're between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
And that is why now the only hope now, only the could have been turned upon Christ. I can turn to now and know it. But you see, unlike them,
Mm-hmm.
they had a second chance through Moses. We won't have that second chance. When we're put between that straight space, between a rock and a hard place, it simply means that we would have exhausted all the limits of divine forbearance.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
So brought before that point, God not gonna look on you again, You're gonna suffer the consequences. Because you were being entreated for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Look how long God have been with Israel, man. And then come out, reach Red Sea, and still gonna murmur him. You're a pillar of fire by day, Becky. A pillar of cloud by night. And you know between, and him a lead you through the wilderness. To how long? And you reach right there, some boy, if he just drop same time, I say, boy, there's no way we can get delivered. We dead now. But they go as far, and I'm saying, look at the character of the people. They go as far as said to Moses that, man, Moses, is it that because of grave that they in Egypt to carry out just in the wilderness to come dead? That you do, I'm saying Moses really had to be the meekest man in the car. If you endure with all them kind of trash talk the people and give you it really hard. Moses had to tell them to stand still and watch the salvation of the Lord.
Yeah.
That is what we have to do now this time. Because we're now in a river figure, river dry up, stream dry up, and WC now giving the water. The tank them go dry up. But we are going to God alone who can't turn things Becky. It's not like we can't say like Elon Musk, we are going to Mars to get water. Because we can't go there. So we get some moon water.
He sees water.
Right.
From trying them to water. Right. Cool.
So it's serious. And I'm gonna show you something as it mentioned that with the water system. I want to read this one here that is very, very significant as well. Where they're saying from space, the drought is so dire in Europe that you can see the dryness of the earth from space.
From space.
That's the people I'm saying, where you to me? You can see the dryness of the earth from space.
But there's also fire.
Yes, man. Yeah,
So
man.
you
The fire
can-
can be seen
You
from
can see
space as well.
the result or the effect of that.
Yes. Yes.
And the place supposed to brown.
Brown. But
And
before,
if only a hurricane can parch certain parts of Jamaica.
right, hurricane, right? It's supposed to
Imagine
bring
what the
water.
fire can do to certain parts of
That means the fire is supposed to bring water, then, man. A hurricane and bring fire. It says here that St. Elizabeth, we touch Jamaica a little bit. It seems like we won't get to touch Europe and stuff to the body. Once we can touch parts of it. It's from the 31st of July, or 2 weeks ago. Drought alert. No, not that one. Sorry. That one. St. Elizabeth is the one I'm looking for. All right. I think I found it. No, St. Elizabeth is under fire. You heard about that one, right?
Yeah.
So, massive bushfire. Same 31st of July. Coincidentally, it's the same date that the minister came out and says that prohibition orders will come if dry conditions persist. Massive bushfires raging in St. Elizabeth. It says that firefighters from all 3 fire stations in St. Elizabeth were now, that was then, 31st of July, battling a massive bushfire impacting farmlands in Little Park District in Pedro Plains.
Yeah.
Though they didn't state, of course, it would have been, they didn't state that the fire was sparked by somebody like a light. So I don't think people would be so stupid now to the drive a light a bushfire. So, of course, say, the dryness cause it. So, says the leadership of the St. Elizabeth Fire Department confirmed that firefighters have been working to contain the blaze from mid-afternoon Friday, utilizing fire trucks from the Black River Junction and stations. Residents say the fire has engulfed farm grass and drip hoses which burn millions of dollars. So you realize that every loss is where I get right now, right? Returning in millions. Now you tell me now. You hear what the people them say in St. Catherine. They can't do farming no more now with the money. Like water them I buy.
Yeah.
The revenue is more than the revenue is less than the expenditure. Now you come at St. Elizabeth now, which is the breadbasket parish as we all know it as. And them supply locally enough for Jamaica with food, ground provision and whatever. Because them have it. I hope a farming to St. Elizabeth. Now them millions of losses in a food.
And at least
Grass.
those in St. Catherine have a choice.
Right.
They can go to the eggs. They may fail.
Well,
but
they may fail, the eggs
they,
not go work.
they can do.
Can do that, right?
Those who are burnt out can't.
They can't do that. But
They
not
can't
only
do
that.
nothing.
I'm saying you lost millions in food, drip hoses and whatever. Millions that Becky. Millions are probably a borrow loan for their farming, you lose them millions there. And the future look very dire, look very dim. How are you gonna make back that money for you lose? When you sit down at your yard now in the night and that the stress that the reality they check they lick you all night, what you gonna do?
Your farm may be insured, which I think it is.
Yes.
But how do you restart? You
That
get
is
back
it.
the money, right?
But there's no restarting.
How you restart?
There's no restarting. But it's not only getting the money. Being insured by it doesn't mean you destroy today, get the money tomorrow. It's a long halabaloo process. Forget, but
So
you're not
when
gonna
do
get
you-
all of it either.
Yeah.
When do you
How?
restart? How do you restart? When you can't get anything. When the situations look slim because you're not getting any water again for irrigating your farm or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you restart? It's very serious. We're now at 8:45 and we're gonna take a short break before we come back. Yes, and we're back.
Yeah.
Yes, Becky. Now you wonder when revenue is less than expenditure.
Mhm.
How do you cope? How do you build back?
Well, you can't cope. You can't build
Can't build back.
with no cash. In St. Elizabeth,
Yes.
well, you come from St. Elizabeth,
Yes.
so you don't know. There's a stone known as Flintstone.
Yeah, man.
You know, yeah. When the
Very
time is
easy catch
really
fire.
hot, oh my, catch
Yeah,
fire
man.
easily.
I
So if I
rem-
don't know how, since I'm not in the
Yeah,
falls
man.
that one,
Yeah, man.
that could be a possible
Yes.
reason.
I
Yeah.
remember one working in Manville, and man, we always fire truck had to come down there to out it. Massive fire was raging. Now the crops are destroyed. Situation looks slim because you can't be you're prohibited water to irrigate your farm.
Yeah.
So that simply means the food production is going down.
Mhm.
That is locally, people when they reach internationally yet, and have the international part, but I don't think I'll be able to bring it. Today, as I said this thing, Becky, it is so overwhelming.
Yeah.
So much information I can't possibly present it in a one sitting. The amount of things that are happening. And I know by next week is another ton load of things you're gonna hear we are
That
going
is
down.
the thing.
When I look at the news, I'm saying there's no way we can possibly bring all of this on the radio in one day. Earthquake, volcano down in Guatemala, earthquake in Colombia, Canada burned down, the whole of 10 states in the US are burned down. I mean, so many things happening at one point, so many things happening one time, people. If you can say to yourself now that this is not the end, something wrong with you. If you can't say that, something have wrong with you.
Yeah, but there are many persons who don't believe,
That is it.
Mhm. In the kind of end that the Bible
Yeah.
speaks to.
That's why something
They
wrong
don't
with
believe
you.
in the Bible none at all.
Something wrong with
And they
them.
know to believe in an end that the Bible speaks to that. And
Yes.
God is actually coming, and these are signs that
Yes.
suggest that he's just around the corner.
Yes.
And that you need to prepare.
That is it.
That's a thing,
Yeah.
We are going through all of this thing now, but they will tell you that history says maybe something like that happened in the 70s, 1970s, or it may have happened in the 40s.
Yes.
And
And
here
then
we
go through
are
it.
today, and we went through.
Yes.
So
That's
experiencing all of these things now, many persons will not put the things together.
That
But
is
then once you have your eyes open, once
Yes.
you're looking at,
Once
at
you're
the, at
awake.
the news, once you're awake,
Yes.
you realize that this is different from any other time
Yes,
before.
man.
Because those persons who are promising you a beautiful future, as in those, what you call them, Elon Musk and
Yeah,
all
man.
of them people, they are at the same time being afraid of
That
what
is
is happening.
That
They
is
are
it.
fearing for their lives, and they are
Yes.
putting some measures
Yes.
in place, which now going to help.
That
but
is why
at
they might
least
try
they
to
are
put the
putting
measures.
in
Because they
place.
might fear. That's why they might try to put in the measures now. And I'm
So
fearful.
it's a different time. It's not
Yes.
the time as
Yeah, man.
before.
No.
We have to look at it
No.
differently. You understand?
Indeed.
If they are fearing, and they are the ones who have the money and the power,
Yes.
and the information can give you to deceive you,
Yes.
and they are scouring for shelter.
What's it?
You have to think twice. You have
Yes.
to think twice. This is the time when the Bible speaks of that Christ will put in his second return.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it is very soon. So we need to be
Amen.
prepared for that, to be saved.
So true.
Yeah.
And even back then, Becky, you would have realized that they were thinking that at that time in the past, when these events were taking place, Christ was about to come.
Yeah.
When you look even in the 1833, I believe, which was one of the signs in history, not in history, in prophecy, from same Luke 21, reading down.
Yeah.
When this was the dark time, and no other period of such dense darkness was ever recorded after, and the only one prayer would have been in Moses' time.
Yes.
Moses' time, when 3 days darkness was proclaimed upon Pharaoh.
Yeah.
No other periods of dense darkness has ever been prayed at, and that was a prophecy. The individuals at that time were saying, man, that this has to be that Christ is coming. This has to be that is what is happening now. So they were looking for that.
Yes.
So how is it that in this time now, when we're experiencing things that prophecy has told us, we're not have the same mindset? It's a distraction. Remember, I tell you that anybody see it and can get a neglect. He implies every possible device and engross the mind. That is why we think different, Remember, that's what I started off with. That it I was just thinking on it yesterday. Sometimes I was just sitting and just meditate on something. And I'm saying so interesting that this generation thinks very, very much different. The younger people and the older folks in this generation, because they're sidetracked with the devices and the digital thing as well. That one time you'd hear it all over my community right now. That you know, see what go on with the weather and this and that. You know, we need to prepare get water. Here it's like nothing going on news. It's like nothing going on the
To
world.
each his own.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
To each his own.
Yeah.
Everybody for themselves. Not a soul hear anything like that. There's no alarm, no nothing at all. Back then when I was younger, you know, you hear some alarm saying, "No, this I got my prepare." Not a thing. Nobody no business. Nobody cares.
Welcome,
You know?
Debbie.
It's sad.
I was speaking with somebody yesterday. I said, boy, yeah, famine, famine I come, and person said, boy, that's the last thing we want here, right? Famine a serious thing. In other words, what the person is saying is that, why we don't want to hear that.
You know, you
No,
tell him that.
we don't want to hear that at all. In reality, I hit him, because
man.
he's seeing it, he's
man.
feeling it.
Yeah, man.
He's experiencing it, and I said, "Boy, last thing that more here, right?"
No prosperity that you know and that. I was everybody I speak to I tell him that look here.
But this person was a Seven-Adventist. I
Oh.
mean, is a Seven-Adventist.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was everybody I speak to I tell him prepare get a water store because what is coming up on the land is not anything that will be going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
You understand? It is coming and not going. I'll just read this last one. Probably this is the last one I can go to before we close. It says this on BBC. It says more than half of England in drought. The Environment Agency declares. The drought has been declared across more than half of England as hot. Dry weather takes its toll on the country's water supplies. You see, water is the main theme right now.
Yeah.
It says the agency announcement covers much of central, eastern, and southern England and is a public sign that further restrictions on water use might follow. So this is what sparked my interest when I came now back to our news locally that they're going to be restricting the water supply in Jamaica. That it is just of more draconian restrictions to come.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's gonna. So here says here, a sign that further restrictions on water might follow. So there's restriction already, but we're looking at further restrictions. So as soon as you say bottled water we drink, you have to restrict that because boy, we don't have enough. You have to rush on that too. It says it added that the impacts are already being felt, including low river flows, early harvest, and high risk of wildfires. More than 20 million people are already under hose pipe bans. Hose pipe, hose pipe or something you say, hose pipe.
We are in a better position in Jamaica.
20 million, that is what, more than 3 times Jamaica, way more than 3 times Jamaican population are already under hose pipe bans. It's a North Wales and the upper Severn River Basin entered drought conditions last week, Natural Resources Wales said. Scotland does not declare drought, but monitors water scarcity.
Yeah.
Some parts of eastern Scotland are in the most extreme category of significant scarcity. Northern Ireland is not currently in drought. It said there is no single definition of drought, but it usually refers to a period of prolonged, usually dry weather that can have impacts on people, nature, and the environment.
Yeah.
It says the EA considers all of these factors before deciding whether to declare a drought in England. So the fact that them are declared a drought, it simply means that nature, people, and the environment are being affected. It said the declaration is a public sign that its response to the dry conditions includes monitoring controls. This is where it gets important now. Increase and controls on how much water can be taken from rivers and groundwater. So now you're being prohibited how much water you can take up from there. So can't go down on river, say you go wash. You go take up to go wash this or that. No, they monitor that. You can't go down there. If you go down there where you take up river water, go be it up your yard.
So I'm saying earlier when you mentioned it, so you go and spring hard.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be serious.
Yeah, man. It's very for real. It's gonna be serious.
Yeah.
Because what we understand is that when the major ones are like the Mona Reservoir and the other one that they mentioned, when those start to deplete now, more drastically than they are now.
Yeah.
It simply means to the lower parts, So the ones that are known, you got the little ones them that the rural places, And people want water. And when people want who them are going for it, the life that is at stake. So it's very serious. It goes further to say that it can mean hosepipe bans being introduced if they are not already in place.
Mm-hmm.
The hot and dry weather means we are currently using water faster than nature can replenish it. Imagine that.
Wow.
They're using water more than how nature can replenish it. The director of the Water and Environment Agency and chair of the National Drought Group said the warm and exceptionally dry conditions
Mm-hmm.
experienced across much of England over recent months are continuing to have a significant impact. The chief meteorologist at the Met Office said, early August. This was said when the thing is in July, late July. He says early August could bring some rain to parts of the country, but he wouldn't say no.
Mm-hmm.
But the Met Office has said there is no sign of sustained rainfall that would make a significant difference to the dry conditions.
Okay.
So the farmers them even man this are the chief Met Office now. So the farmer them down in Jamaica now who thinks they can build back better. No man, no rain for build back better right now. A continual dry. Unless you can grow yam in a drought and grow whatever crop you have in a drought, then you have a chance. Otherwise, it's only God is our help.
Imagine cool England.
You can imagine, yeah,
No
yeah,
water.
always cool, dry, hot,
Cool
England, yeah.
No water.
Wow.
Heat in cold England.
Yeah, the opposite, total opposite to the extreme, as a matter of fact, they're experiencing.
We need to melt some ice caps, man.
No man, but the ice caps them a melt too.
Heat, but that not help. That's
No,
what I'm
no, but
saying.
you know,
How
you
is
know,
that
understand. They
helping?
not only a melt to add water to the already existing water, you know. They a melt and a evaporate. So you know, have no water, none at all. Just like how the all of the river them overnight.
They need to get the story
You know?
right.
Overnight, coincidentally,
Mm-hmm.
overnight, coincidentally, one whole river dry up.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, huh? No farmer heat, I go evaporate one entire river overnight. It can't make sense. The reactors, you see, the reactors that they need to cool to supply electricity
Mm-hmm.
to communities and cities,
Mm-hmm.
you look on even a daily period like probably a 3 pool size of water a day.
Yeah.
Then you understand why a river can dry up overnight. You understand?
You see the devil evil.
Mm.
That him never met them use the seawater.
The seawater. No, I can't. Seawater can't.
Why are the fresh water?
Yeah, man. Seawater cannot drink. That's number
Mhm.
one. And the sea I go oxidize them aluminum and the metal when you use by the data center. And now go help it. Just like how people now use seawater in a vehicle. Because I mash up radiator. It's starting to go oxidize the entire thing.
No,
Mess it
man,
up.
fix that, man. You fix it and you use the seawater.
But what they can do is take the salt out of the water if they can.
That's
do
what
that.
I'm saying. Fix it.
Yeah, man, go
because
find
you
somewhere
are
you can do that.
smart. You
That is
are
a whole heap
yeah.
of sea.
Right people, technology head, man.
And that's how you know that.
Leave the fresh water so humans can survive.
Yes.
So you can surveil the humans.
But that's how you know that it's intentional. It's intentional where you go drop the river, you know, because you know, so me and you can go there go drink seawater and live after that. Dead you go dead. Me can go drink seawater, it not help you. So you intentionally dry up the rivers, the stream, the lakes, every little thing where fresh water, dry it up. Yeah, man. We're not 9 o'clock, but I want to just
1 minute to
yes. Okay, so I
So-
can read this in 1 minute. I just read it short. It's a very short section left. You can read it just to finish this article. It says that early August could bring it says 6 maps of the UK showing rainfall levels for January, February, March, April, May, and June 2026 compared with the long-term average for that month. Above average rain in shades of blue and below averages in brown.
Yeah.
Almost all of the UK saw much higher rainfall than average in January and February, with only areas of northwest England and western Scotland seeing less rainfall than usual. That's January and February.
Mm-hmm.
It said the April, with most of England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Eastern Scotland seeing dry conditions, while Western Scotland and Northeast England experienced wet weather. May was drier than usual across most of the UK, apart from some northern parts of England. June was more mixed, above average rainfall in Western Scotland and southern parts of England and Wales. Rainfall was below average in northeast Wales and eastern parts of England and Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
The combination of low rainfall and prolonged high temperatures, meaning greater evaporation of moisture. Can you believe that? So low rainfall and prolonged high means greater evaporation. So that meaning for that. dry it out of the plant. It says it has quickly depleted water reservoirs in soils, vegetation, and rivers have quickly depleted. The conditions have led to a you ever hear about flash flood? You
Yeah,
have flash flood?
yeah.
All right, hear this. The condition have led to a flash drought. So you have flash flood, now you have a flash drought. Yes, this is where drought begins and over many months or years. So this is drought just bam,
Yeah.
sudden. That is why I tell you, three strikes and they're out.
That's
You
why
can't
some
recover it.
Rivers just disappear.
Yeah, just disappear overnight.
Dry.
Bam, overnight. It says that today's announcement means that there have been 3 droughts in the past 5 years: 2022, 2025, and 2026. While droughts happen naturally, scientists say that climate change is raising the risk. With higher summer temperatures drying out soils more quickly, this can lead to more severe and longer lasting droughts.
Yeah.
Now, this one is right. The higher temperatures are drying out the soils. Their temperatures are drying out the plants that suck the moisture out of the plants. I don't know how that one works, but this is no normal weather phenomenon, people. And I have ended that article. We're also at the end of our time and the end of the world. Yes, or the end of the article, the end of our time, and the end of the world. It is time to make your call on election, sure, people. You know the Bible says in the last comment I'll make, the last scripture I'll give you. It's one that I give on a regular basis is Romans 13 rather, verse 11.
Yeah.
Says that I know the time that it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is your salvation nearer than you first believe. Anything you have to add before we close, Becky?
Yeah. So that's a good morning.
Yes.
We're able to share much. But we're calling people back to God. I heard you calling people back to God. Or we should call on God.
Yes.
We need to call on God at this time. But we need to identify who exactly is God. Because when a person calls on God today, what exactly are they calling? Who exactly are they calling?
That is it.
Because we, nowadays, in Jamaica, which you consider a Christian country some time ago, we see ourselves as God. So when you call on God, who exactly are you calling on?
Yes.
Many persons look to charms and all of those things, or oils, or ring on the finger, make reference to God. What are you calling on when you should call on God? There are many persons who worship the God of His Son. Persons who worship on Sundays. So when you call on God, exactly who do you call on? We remember the prophets of Baal, they called on God, to provide fire, and no fire turned up. Now Elijah had to call on the Creator God, and fire did come.
Yes.
So we need to return, especially at this time, return to the God, the Creator God, the God of the Sabbath,
Amen.
The seventh-day Sabbath. And I think, He promised that should we call on Him, He will respond.
He will answer. Oh, yes.
He will turn up for His people. So we need to look to the God, the Creator God.
Amen. And before I pray, there's a caveat to that as well, Becky. Calling upon Him, people, doesn't mean calling upon Him at your own convenience.
Yeah.
No. It's calling upon Him now. Because there's a late time and there's an early time to call upon Him. And we wouldn't want it to be a case where when you decide to call upon Him would have been the time when it is too late. Today as you hear His voice, harden not your hearts. Let us pray. Heavenly Father and our God, compassionate servant and friend, indeed we're grateful again for the privilege of speech, the privilege to give your information to your people, to a dying world, in which we see that events all around us prophetically are showing that your coming is nigh, even at the door. I pray now that as they hear, as your people have listened, as we have entreated unto them, they will seek to call upon you before it is eternally too late. As we realize that the situation will get only worse as your coming is increased to a close, because we realize that Satan is rampant and he wants to get everyone under his fold. Help us to stay vigilant, help us to stay aware, help us to stay prepared as well, and help us to continue to warn your people so they may be prepared as well. Keep us in this dark world as lights ever shining for you. May you grant us everlasting peace, and may we continue to commit to your covenant. Strengthen us as we go through this world and these dark days, I pray, for Christ's sake, that your will be done. Amen.
Amen.
All right, people, it was time. Until next week, same time, same place, God's will. Have a godly day.